Welcome, sisters and brothers of different mothers. This is treborseven, creator of HowToTelekinesis.com and a student of AvatarEnergyMaster.com. And today, you are going to learn how to unlock your car door using your mind. Yeah, and this is my first demonstration using my new camera. I'm used to doing commentary, so I didn't know what to do with myself. So I tossed in a little humor for you. Hope you enjoy the show. Namaste. This is treborseven, and today I'm going to show you how to increase the distance you can get out of your keyless remote. As you know, you push the little button and the lights come on, the door unlocks, and these things have a range. And the range for this one, this is a Nissan pickup truck, if you can see it up there, is about 76 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'll walk up and I'm going to show you that it works at 76 feet. Then I'll come back a little further. As you can see, I've got a 100-foot tape measure run here. I'm going to come back beyond the 76 feet and show you that it doesn't work. And then I'm going to show you a little trick that'll make it work beyond its normal range. Okay? So here we are. We're going to go make it work at 76 feet.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
Okay, this is 76 feet. And we press the remote.
Wow.
And voila, works just fine. Now we're going to go beyond the range a little bit. This is 84 feet. Push the remote. No go.
Poor baby.
It's a no go. Now, we're going to do a little trick. Same thing the cell phone companies did a while back, where they turned your brain into an antenna to boost your signal. So what I'm going to do is put the keyless remote to the back of my head and see if we can make it work beyond its normal range.
This is ridiculous.
You see that?
You got it!
Now, even that has a range. And with this particular truck and brain, it seems to be 96 feet. So here we're going to go at maximum of 96 feet using our brain as an antenna.
Wow.
Still working at 96 feet. Okay, now we're going to go beyond the 96 feet. This is roughly 100 feet right here. And normally it doesn't work. Okay, as you can see, it's a no-go.
And now, here with an unlimited supply of misinformation is Mr. Know-It-All.
Now, this is where the psychokinesis comes in. If I focus my energy into this and my intentions using my mind, I can boost even that signal beyond its normal range. And see if we can get this to work at beyond 100 feet. Bear with me, this might take just a minute.
Okay.
Yes!
Did you see that? Even beyond 100 feet.
When it comes to humility, I'm the greatest!
All right. Anyway, this is something anyone can do. Go out and give it a shot. Next time your car is just beyond the range of your keyless remote, use your old noggin. All right. I was obviously messing around a little bit there, but it really does work. If you haven't already, try it for yourself. And if you have tried it, try it again and see if you can boost the distance using psychokinesis. All right, I think we're live. How's it going, everybody? See, we got a few people here. We got Ricky in the back room, and we're going to do a little talking about telekinesis schools. This is subscriber live stream numero 11. And before we add Ricky, let's go take a look and see if anybody's in the chat. All right, we're all caught up on the chats. Let's go ahead and add Ricky.
Hey.
Hey, you got some noise in the background there.
Oh, let me see if I get this going.
No worries.
Is better?
Ah, much better, much better.
Yeah,
How's
that's
it going, man?
Oh, pretty good.
What have you been up to?
Just the same thing. Just still doing some training, but practicing everything, but not uploading anything. Just mostly just by myself. Just kind of getting more refined, you know.
Right on. Practice, practice, practice.
Yeah.
That's what it is all about.
Get a more grip on what, on all of it,
Hi, Lori P. from Ohio. So glad you're here. Hey, if you guys are watching, why not pop your comment in the chat? At least say hi or something. Let me know you're live. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you guys being here. You could be anywhere, but you chose to be here with other people who watch weird videos. And the biggest part of telekinesis for me, once I got past the, shock and awe of it, which took about a year to realize, that it's actually real, it became very important to me and a goal of mine to share it with the world. And there's really only one way to know it is real, and that is to learn how to do it. So today we're going to take a look at some of the online and physical schools that help people learn and discover their psychokinetic abilities. We got the Coke Queen. Hey, you're welcome. She says, thank you. Oh, I guess I can show these. This fancy live stream here. Thank you for sharing your work. Well, thank you for enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Our man Sean's here. What up, Sean? Glad to see you, buddy. All right. So did you have a chance to look around on the internet at any schools, or do you have anything in mind you wanted to share during this stream?
No, well, I haven't had a chance to look around, but the one that I remember the most is the one that I saw when I first stumbled on your channel, the one that we spoke about last month. Where they had the people and the cylinder glasses with the turning side wheel things, the paper things.
Yeah, that's
it's like in Europe, huh? Yeah.
St. Petersburg. I think that's in Russia.
That one's a real good one.
We'll take a look at that. I've got a little 7-minute video we can share of that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go take a look, unless there's anything else in the comments. Nope. If I can remember how to do this. Boy, doing this once a month, you kind of forget how to do everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to share a screen here. Let's see. Cancel that. Let's open the page we want first. That way we have a screen to share. There we go. Okay, now back to StreamYard. Sorry, I'm stumbling around here.
It's okay.
Been a busy day for me. Done a lot of garden work. Had a storm that came and knocked down my huge oak tree. I mean, it was already dead, but it knocked it down. And man, was that an ordeal trying to clean that thing up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to share a screen here. You let me know if you can see that. Yeah, you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Sweet.
I don't know how to make it any bigger. Anyway, this is master of telekinesis.com. It's a brand new site, but new to me anyway. All I did was put in telekinesis school into a DuckDuckGo search. And we're going to look at the top 5, 6, 7. So it says the most fun place on our telekinesis site. Here will be telekinesis and telepathy classes, articles on the supernatural world, and basically anything to do with mentalism. Okay, so they're kind of lumping a lot of things in here. I don't consider telekinesis mentalism, but to each his own. Telekinesis, class number 6 is meditation. Why are we starting with 6? Let's go to number 1. Okay, getting started. Telekinesis and telepathy can be registered as synonyms for the word mess. Of all the supernatural abilities, there are the closest to the reality compared to, okay, they're just giving you little snippets of each class, I guess.
Yeah.
Do telekinesis and telepathy exist? That's one question. But if so, there's no doubt what it takes to make it happen, and that's faith. Okay. Telekinesis class number 2, understanding telekinesis in depth. Have you decided that telekinesis and telepathy exist? Good. Haven't decided yet? So go back to lesson number 1 and apply it and do it. Okay. We're just kind of, getting the overview here. I didn't open them up to see what I'm just trying to get a gist of what they're teaching. Number 3 says telekinesis theories. Okay. Telekinesis and telepathy theories. Theories of telekinesis and telepathy can be divided into several types. The mystical theories from the past about telekinesis. What's it do when I hit ignore? Okay, we lose the whole page. Let's go back. Anyway, concentration. This is a big red flag for me when I hear somebody say concentration. Okay, we have promised concentration exercises, we have promised concentration exercises for telekinesis. And here we are. Concentration exercises are something that will not only telekinesis and telepathy, help, not only telekinesis and telepathy,
Yeah.
but it'll do much more than that, apparently. Oh, and they mentioned the Eggly wheel. That's cool. If you guys want an Eggly wheel, there's a link in my video description to get one. And I would get a little small commission if you should choose so. And there's also a couple of videos I did on the Eggly wheel.
Oh, that's cool.
Class number 5, we'll talk about an unusually interesting topic with a link at the end posted directly to, which is an affiliate link, just like I was trying to promote probably. But it really is a good TK tool if anybody's on the fence about that Eggly wheel. It's pretty awesome. Meditation. Right, meditation. And the question is why? What is the connection between meditation and telekinesis? Meditation and telekinesis. Let's start with a discovery. Well, I can tell you what, one of the big things about connection between meditation and telekinesis is telekinesis works when your brain is at a certain wavelength. In other words, when it's slowed down considerably, that's when telekinesis starts working. A really active brain, for me, I can't say that for everybody. I know one guy that was doing telekinesis while he was boxing. For me, if my left brain is engaged, not much happens. What do you say?
Oh yeah. It depends too, because I've done it with like a yo-yo from distances, and I have a recent one where I've done it with a yo-yo. And like what it is that you kind of you have more more of the intention going on to the object of what you want to move, and then with the second thing that you're doing, you just kind of have that kind of like a small addition. So the main energy is mostly on moving the object, and the other thing is just a partial addition. So it's just like, it's combining, it's doing two things at once, but the one thing is less than the other, and you can make that happen like that.
Yeah, I could see where if you could do something that's sort of automatic,
Yeah.
that you don't have to put a lot of thought into, like something repetitive, or like
It's
perhaps I
simple.
could probably play drums because I play drums a lot. I could do that and think about something else and maybe do telekinesis. It's a good idea for a video. I might try that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a something that's available on a Kindle, or I guess you can get it in paperback as well, on Amazon. But of course, it made the top 10 because it's Amazon. The Mini School, a guide for youngsters who wish to try their luck with telekinesis or have fun with it. The guide, along with this book in the Mastery of Telekinesis series, can get you not only to believe in telekinesis, but live telekinesis, which is, according to those who understand the subject, the most significant thing to succeed in performing real telekinesis. I agree. I just said that earlier. Yeah. Just the personal validation is a huge changing point in anyone's life once you discover that's real. In the book, you'll find practical exercises performing telekinesis and shattering common mistakes, training programs, and more, all to unleash a dormant telekinesis ability. That sounds pretty awesome. I don't know. I haven't read the book or anything, but there you go. It's on Amazon if anybody's interested. Let's see what we got next. I'm just popping through these here.
Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of homework. I just looked at them and kind of read it. Ooh, a lot of reading there.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is, I'm not sure, Mystica, EMYSTICA.com. ESP/telekinesis. Everybody's lumping ESP in with telekinesis.
Yeah.
Which those are a little different things, in my opinion. The telekinesis requires, for me, empathy and energy, where ESP does not.
Yeah.
Perhaps a little empathy with the cards. I don't know. Of all the mysterious powers of the mind, one that is the most impressive and should be the easiest to prove or disprove is telekinesis. The power to affect physical objects with the power of the mind alone. That's not correct. Telekinesis is now more frequently referred to as psychokinesis, and the definition has been expanded to include the ability of the mind to affect matter, space, time, or energy without the use of any currently known physical means. Okay, let me clear that up a little bit. Psychokinesis is like an umbrella term. And that includes all the like telekinesis, pyrokinesis,
Yeah.
hydrokinesis. It's just kind of a blanket form. So it can't really just replace the word telekinesis, because
Yeah.
telekinesis refers specifically to the manipulation of objects, whereas psychokinesis could mean water or even
Yeah.
healing or anything. That's a very broad term.
Yeah. Yeah.
So skeptics insist that the ability does not exist and that they can replicate any of the effects shown by those who claim to have telekinetic abilities by the use of strings, magnets, static electricity, or other physical forces. They
Yeah.
claim that psychokinesis only appears to exist, excuse me, through outright fraud or through manipulation of scientific data. Yeah, we'll clear that up here in a little bit. It has been scientifically validated numerous times for many, many decades. Let's skip over the whether it exists or whatever. Let's see what are the bullet points here. Telekinesis is an umbrella term. No, not really. Under which falls several related abilities, all having to do with the manipulation of matter without any known physical or mechanical means. Those abilities include movement of matter of objects, that is telekinesis, deformation of matter, like Uri Geller, the spoon bending, that's called spoon bending, influencing events such as the fall of the dice or patterns, biological healing, that's part of psychokinesis, transmutation of matter, changing water into wine. I think that's probably called transmutation. Control of magnetism and control of heat, light or photons. Okay, so far I'm not entirely impressed with their understanding of the terms anyway, telekinesis, psychokinesis, and whatnot. But so far, looks like this might be a free site. So a bonus for that, for sure. They're going to talk about some famous telekinetics. I never really used that word. I'm a telekinetic ability. I don't know. Might add that to my vocabulary. I don't know. There's been a number of people. Let's skip over that. We've probably all heard of these.
Yeah.
Nina Kalagina, or however you say her name. One of the most famous ones. There's a lot of stuff documented on her. Actually, I haven't heard of this. Felicia Paris. Swami Rama, heard of him. Uri Geller, heard of him.
Yeah.
And the skeptics, let's see what it says here about James Randi. James Randi insists that telekinesis is nothing but a hoax. There are many instances that can't be explained away by magicians' tricks. It's quite possible that the human mind has natural abilities to influence matter in ways that we don't understand. Okay, I don't think that was a Randy quote. I think that's them, their take on it.
Yeah,
But
throwing something in there.
they got some free interactive readings at the end. What else they got? Psychometry, which a lot of people say that's the best place to begin, is psychometry. That's neat. So there's a free tarot reading, star sign. There's some cool stuff on here. The old horoscopes. Anyway, that's one you might consider. That is emystica.com. Moving on.
Yeah.
Any comments on that site, Ricky?
Well, and it looks like simple and straightforward. I think you could get some information on it, but I don't think you get it. Like it's better to kind of go to something that's more like us, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
You recognize
like a your channel.
You recognize this guy?
Yeah, I know him.
Sean McNamara. Yeah, he's got a site, and I do recommend this one. In fact, I even linked it either on Telekinesis School or treborseven.com. I'm not sure which. He mentioned me in a couple of his books, and I also refer a lot of people to him. His classes, however, and books are not free, but at least they're legit. He's teaching you from his experience, and oh, look, he's got the Eggly wheel too.
Yeah.
And he's not charging an arm and a leg, but you know, it takes time, it takes money, it takes effort to launch a website, make videos, answer questions. You know, I do all that, quote unquote, for free. Now I make a little bit of money of people accessing treborseven.com, of course, and that's what basically almost pays for my website. So shout out to everyone who's access to my private videos at treborseven.com. I really appreciate that. You're the reason I'm here, financially anyway. Let's just take a listen. I don't know how long this is. Let's take a listen. Can you see this? Let me go back to StreamYard. Yeah, okay. Let me catch back up on these. There, what Sean say? He says, do you think AEMI, Mr. Monk, will ever revive? Man, I don't know. It was fun when it was in his heyday, though. Carl says, cool. I think you're cool, Carl. All right, let's go back here and let's check out this video.
In the realm of parapsychology, spirituality, or expanded states of mind,
Can you hear that all right, Ricky?
Oh yeah, I get it clear.
telekinesis stands out in its objectivity, meaning when you move an object with your mind from a distance, everyone else in the room can see it. And that's opposed to things like lucid dreaming or meditation or psychic perception or out-of-body experiences, which tend to be subjective, meaning no one else can see what's going on inside of you when you're having those experiences. So telekinesis is special that way, and it's a great way to show that we're more than just physical beings, that some part of us extends beyond the envelope of our skin. When I teach telekinesis to live classes, in under 2 hours, students can learn to move the object while it's enclosed in glass from several feet away. And the same goes for people who sign up for my online video course. If they follow the instructions carefully, in a matter of hours, days, or weeks, they'll be moving the object as well, from several feet away, from across the room, or even from another room. All they have to do is follow the steps carefully, and they'll be successful. So I hope you take my online course or meet me in one of my live classes, because telekinesis is not only fun, but quite inspiring. It shows us that there's a lot more to this universe and to being a human being.
That's cool.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a nice little intro. And man, is that impressive. Within a couple hours, you're moving stuff under glass from a few feet away. That's pretty good, because that took me several months. It took me like 6 weeks to get no hands.
Yeah.
A few months before I was able to do it under glass. And the only reason I did it under glass was because my wife is a skeptic.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't believe it. I won't believe it until you can do it under glass. And boy, was that a challenge. But once you do it under glass and you break that stigma or whatever that tells you can't do it under glass, things start rolling after that. Okay, what else was he got? Watch others. Specially selected telekinesis videos. Nice. I learned telekinesis with Sean, an online video course. How-to books. That's handy. You learn with Sean in person. Learn spoon bending with Sean's YouTube presentation. I also have a spoon bending video if interested. Free audio only course. Well, there you go. If you want to go to the site, that's mindpossible.com. There's a free audio course right there. You can grab a hold of that. And of course, he's got a link to his Eggly Will, which is awesome. Telekinesis, also known as psychokinesis or mind over matter, is a real psychic ability. It can be defined as the movement of an object from a distance using one's mind and energy. Well, Sean, you missed one. Empathy. Several years ago, Sean McNamara, I always have a hard time with his last name, applied everything he knew from his meditation training to learn how to move objects with his mind. Since then, he has taught telekinesis to people around the world through his books, online courses, live classes, film and video projects. You can watch Sean's Mind Over Matter demonstrations in his YouTube channel. What is the name of his YouTube channel? Let me open it. Is it his name?
No, it's Mind Over Matter. Should be something like that.
Mind Possible.
Yeah, Mind Possible. Yeah, that's what
Also the name of his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So there you go. Out of the three we've seen so far, I would have to say I like that one.
Yeah. He puts in experience and work from what he's done, like proof, and he teaches it and everything. So.
Right. Very similar to this guy.
Yeah.
This is treborseven.com.
Yeah.
If you haven't been here before, it has quite changed. I used to offer one-on-one consultations, but I no longer do that. But I did keep my 7 private videos. So for a small one-time fee of $17, you can get access to over 3 hours of exclusive PK training techniques and demonstrations, plus access to the old PK forum, which is rather inactive, but it's full, or not, I wouldn't say full. There's probably 100 posts in there or something. Stuff you can go back and read with some very good, interesting links. And I've had some really good feedback from this website helping people. Did you watch this course, didn't you, Ricky?
Yeah, I remember.
Any good info? Did you pick up anything in there that helped you?
Yeah, like the one about the breathing and in and out. Like you want to pull, you breathe in or breathe out. You know, those types of things. You know,
Yep.
the closing of the eyes, the focusing, all that.
Yep. Very cool. So there's that website. If nobody's had a look at that, I don't know if I can access the forum. Yeah, you can if you have the right link. You can access the forum, but not through that. Let's see. I don't even remember what all I put on there. Some info about me, members options, which probably need to be updated. Yep, I need to get rid of that. I'm glad I took a look at this site. I need to go in there and fix that because I don't offer that anymore. Yeah, but there's some videos, and then of course you got to have the passwords to access all these videos. But these are the 7 videos that are available. Part 1, creating a workspace and a practice routine. Part 2, preparation of the mind, body, and spirit. Lesson 3, energy accumulation, amplification, and preservation, which we could spend a whole live stream on each one of these topics, easy. Part 4, strategies, training aids, and troubleshooting. Part 5, the art of empathy and the power of imagination. Part 6, connecting with the higher self and source energy. And Part 7, mass manipulation of the matrix. So there you go. It's a one-time fee, treborseven.com. Purchase it. You will get instant access via passwords if you don't close your PayPal window. I hate that when people, they purchase it through PayPal and then they just close the window. Well, if you wait, it'll open up to another screen that has all of your passwords on it. But no, they have to send me an email or file a complaint with PayPal. I purchased this and didn't get in. Well, the way you get in is patience. Just wait. After you complete the order, it'll take you there. And last but not least, we got a little school called telekinesisschool.com, which I may be a little biased. And yeah, this site's not the prettiest website you've ever seen. I think this was the second website I ever built. I build these websites from scratch myself, and I'm no guru. So yeah, it doesn't look very good, but based on my skill level, it looks really good.
Oh, I think it looks good too.
Oh, well, thank you. I think it kind of looks a little outdated, but the information is solid. So telekinesisschool.com, this website is 100% free and full of good information that have helped thousands of people learn. And let's go a quick overview of what's on this website. There's a little opening video here that kind of shows a broad range of my experience up to that point. But it just has a little welcome, tells you who I am and that anyone can do telekinesis. This was my experience. After a few months of daily meditation and Qigong exercises, I inadvertently discovered telekinesis. And based on experience, learning, and teaching, I believe it's a natural occurrence created when the human energy field, your aura, Merkaba, light body, is charged with subtle energy, and our thoughts and emotions are subdued and balanced. And since March of 2011, this approach has helped thousands of people from all walks of life discover and improve their telekinetic abilities. I have demonstrations, I've got testimonies, and of course, the only way to really find out is to do it yourself. Hey, there's our buddy Sean right there, Mind Possible. Bam. You can learn for free. That's how I did it. The learning time varies from minutes to several months. And basically, there's no rules, regulations. You simply review the site. And, just reading the website's not going to teach you anything. You have to kind of apply at least some, if not all, of the things suggested. But if you don't have money to spend on Qigong lessons or Ormus or Crystal or advanced teaching or anything, you can learn without them right here. Free tutorials on YouTube. I think I'm up to like 10 or 11 tutorials on there. 5 main ones and then a bunch of sub ones. And if you watch my videos, I always try to use every demonstration as a teaching opportunity. So there's a
Yeah.
little bit of teaching in almost all of my demonstrations.
Yeah.
Almost all of my demonstrations.
Yeah, like when you talk about the hanging of the hammer and the and when you roll the ceramic cup and all that, you always have explanations, huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to just watch somebody. I want to know what's going on. Maybe
Yeah.
seeing
That
someone do it and explaining it is one of the greatest forms of teaching. Reading is one thing and listening is another thing, but if you can connect the visual with the audio, I think that's the way I like to learn anyway.
yeah, that's
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, that's what I think too. That's what I was trying to do with my video too. I try to add some like like explanation to it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I need to update this too. This is kind of just talking about treborseven.com. If you want to spend a little money and get some more lessons, they're available there. Psi boosting elixirs. This is a big part for a lot of people. And you can go read the testimonies on my site. Sorry, I got into some poison oak. Ugh, taking that tree down. My skin's just crawling right now. Oh, that's
Oh
another
yeah.
thing that Ormus soothes. I don't know if it's going to cure it, but man, it takes the itch away for about 20 or 30 minutes, which is a really good relief. I put some Ormus in a spray bottle and I've been misting my arm with it.
That's good.
Maybe it's just the alkalinity kind of stops the itching or whatever. But anyway, I'll have a comparison because my son's he's not putting anything on his. Mine's going away pretty quick. So yet another good use for Ormus. Topically,
Yeah.
it's typically not used that often, although it does work pretty good on burns. I had a severe burn on my hand from a radiator and I used Ormus on it and it healed up really quickly. There's pictures of that on
Yeah.
sacredsupplements.com, I do believe. So
Do you
if
know
you're not, go ahead.
do you know if it's good for anti-aging too?
For anti-aging, is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, like if you drink it or if you put it on as a cream or something like that.
I think so. I mean, I look younger now than I did when I first started taking Ormus, and I got hair again. You noticed in that video, I noticed anyway, I didn't have any hair. I'm like, holy crap. And I've got hair again. And I know I started getting new hair growth after about 3 years of taking Ormus daily. So if you're balding or want to avoid being bald, start taking Ormus, man. Sacredsupplements.com. You can learn how to make it, or you can buy some really good stuff for me. I supercharge it, extra clean. I test it all. It's all perfect, down to every single last drop. I do small batches, so it's really good and potent. And while we're on the topic, thank you to all my patrons. I have some patrons out there that have been buying this stuff for like 6 years. I have over a 60% customer retention rate for a reason. It works. And this week alone, I've gotten 3 emails from people who took it for a few years and now they are making it themselves and giving it to loved ones and helping their friends and family heal things that the doctors told them could not be healed. So if you're not taking Ormus, you need to ask yourself why. It's affordable, it's effective, and you can learn how to make it yourself. Avoid EMF and fluoride. That is key. So protecting, when you consume Ormus, you're consuming monoatomic elements. Monoatomic elements are used throughout your body, processed primarily through your lower intestines, but a vast majority of the monoatomic elements end up in your brain. Now, everyone has a small amount of Ormus in their brain already, orbitally rearranged monoatomic elements. And as soon as you place a cell phone within a few inches of your mind, you can see right here the blood-brain barrier opening.
Yeah.
And this red is the escaping of subtle energy. So if you're taking Ormus and you're talking on your cell phone daily and wondering why you're not getting many benefits from your Ormus, this is why right here. So if possible, always use on your speakerphone or just avoid cell phones altogether if that's even possible. And you'll get a lot better results. I have a cell phone. It's kind of an old broken down thing I use for emergencies, but I have a thing on it called the Trojan Shield, I think is what it's called. And it blocks 99% of the radiation, and you can even have it closed while using it. So that might be something people could consider. If you have to use a cell phone, at least put some protection around it. Hey, real quick, I'm gonna go back and try to catch back up on these chats here.
Wait, let me get this.
On a serious note, the best telekinesis Teleforce school happens to be the Self-Realization Fellowship. Okay, Tebow, I don't know what you're talking about there. Is Teleforce, is that a physical school or a website? When you go through proper kriyas, I'm not sure what that is. You eventually gain another word I'm not familiar with, Siddhe or Siddhe. One of those Siddhes is the ability to tell a okay. Don't know what you're saying there either. Connect through everything living. We connect to every living thing through strings in a DNA. So teleforce is a lot easier than telekinesis. Interesting. Shauna says, try jewel weed. What is jewel weed? Is that something you consume or something we need to read, or what is that? I don't know what that is. Have you connected with Michael Grubb? Years ago, back when I was in Amy, yeah, I conversed with him, and I thought I was going to have an opportunity to meet him. We were going to do some workshops and stuff together, but that kind of fell through. Yeah, Michael Grubb, he's got some good info. He knows me. I know him. For Poison Oak / Ivy. Oh. Okay, I got you. And what was the name of that again? I already forgot. I'll go back and look later. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. My man, Steve Talbot is here. What's up, Steve? What's the best way of getting in contact with you? Trevor? If you're speaking to Trevor, there's lots of ways to contact me. Robert at treborseven.com. Robert at sacredsupplements.com. Or you can just put a comment on my YouTube channel. I try to read those once a week. Oh, glad you're here, Steve. Appreciate you. All right, back to business. Where were we? Avoiding EMF and fluoride. Yeah, just try to stay away from cell phones and microwaves and stuff as best you can. I know it's nearly impossible. We're being radiated everywhere we go. But they do sell protective clothing. I have a hat that has silver lining in it. There just take some steps to try to limit it. I know you can't maybe eliminate it, but maybe you could decrease it. One way to detox from EMF is bathing in salt. I do a saltwater bath usually once a month, sometimes more often if I have any sort of muscle pain or anything. EMF protection. These are links to some good salts. The items I just mentioned, the phone shields and the silver lined hat. There's some fluoride-free toothpaste and, of course, Ormus. Monitor and increase your life force energy. Here we are back to the Egley wheel. And this thing is awesome. If you've ever wanted just a way to read your own biofeedback without spending thousands of dollars, this little thing does it. Maybe it's not exact, precise as some of these, multi-$1,000 machines out there. This thing works. Trust me, if you're a healer or, like it says here, energy cultivator, Reiki healers, alchemists, a psychic, an athlete, an artist, or anyone who just really wants to monitor their health, it gives you a good reading of your life force energy, which is your true vitality. So it's a good little thing for a lot of different reasons and for people. The Egley wheel. There's a link right here to do some shopping if interested. Getting started. Telekinesis, when performed properly, is effortless and may even seem accidental at first. TK works best when our mind is void of thoughts, allowing our brainwaves to drop down into the low beta to upper alpha range. High energy, calm emotions, and slow brainwaves is the recipe for success. Hence the reason energy work, followed by no thought meditation, aka transcendental meditation, and a nonchalant approach optimizes our telekinetic abilities. Boy, there's a lot of truth in that one sentence right there. It is wise to experiment with different postures, breathing techniques, and to try practicing at different times of the day to see what works best for you. I've noticed that I think nighttime, just because your brain's slowing down, but between the hours of, say, midnight and 3 a.m., prime time, TK time, for me anyway.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a night owl. Even as a kid, they'd make me go to bed at 9 and I'd be up till midnight just staring at the clock.
Okay.
The products and recommendations and methods provided on this website are tried and true. It's ultimately your level of mastery over mind, body, and emotions that determine how well and how quickly these techniques will work for you. Very true. Hey, here's a nice quote for you. I appreciate your video series and have been using the advice to develop my skills. Your insight are often exactly what I've been experiencing, and the validation is helpful. Dr. Jeff Tarrant. He is a psychologist and a whatever this is, DCEP, a BCN, and like I said, he has a degree in psychology. Really neat guy. There's an interview with me and him on my channel if interested. Excuse me. Knowing your tools. So here I break it down into three different things, basically. Lesson 1 is empathy. But knowing your tools, jump in anytime if you want to comment there, Ricky. I'm just kind of blasting through this. I'm not paying attention.
I was talking about remember the last month we talked about, like, I use this is called earth paste. I don't know if I showed you it, but we talked about it, remember? And this one uses the clay, the Redmond clay.
What is it again?
It's called earth paste, and I got it from an organic store, and it has nano silver. It's kind of new, and it just has basic ingredients. It has a water, bentonite, clay, non-GMO xylitol, nano silver solution, sea salt, peppermint, essential oil, menthol, and tea tree essential oil. So it's like basically just like mud, like clay mud, and it helps to clean the teeth. It digs deep and it pulls out like all the dirt germs and the old food, and it's very healthy. It doesn't have no fluoride or nothing, and it works very well. It makes my teeth. I floss real good, and I brush with it. And I use, this is a bamboo brush. It's soft, and this helps it to kind of make it. It feels really fresh and healthy compared to when I used the fluoride. When I used regular fluoride, it felt clean but kind of gunky still, you know. But with this one, it felt like clean and actually light and fresh. So it's kind of, it helps to heal the teeth too. But like this is what I use for now on. I have to buy a new one because this is running out. But that's what I recommend is earth paste. It's like $7, but it's worth it, you know.
Where do you get it?
You get it at any organic store, and they should sell them at any organic store in your city or town, like any place that sells organic food or organic things like soap bars or deodorants or things like that.
There you go.
And a bamboo brush too, because it's real bamboo and it's soft, and it cleans more better, and it's more gentle and it cleans better, you know.
Nice. There you go. Recommendation from Ricky. Earth paste. Bentonite clay is awesome. I use it as a detoxing thing. Usually after I do a fast, I'll do my last day. I'll take bentonite clay, which you just mix it up into a 2 ounce and just drink it. It's like drinking muddy water or what have you. But it does a deep pull right there at the end of your fast to get any toxins that might be left in your body. Bentonite clay. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's what it's, yeah.
What else? Okay, we're up to date there. Where was I? Getting to know. Okay. So step 1 is getting to know your 3 side tools: empathy, mindset, and energy. In comparison to a cell phone, the empathy is the signal that you need to make your call. The mindset acts as the transmitter and receiver, and the energy is the electricity needed to run your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So see how it takes 3 things to make a phone call? You know, you can't just have battery power. You also have to have a good line of connection, and you also have to be able to transmit and receive. Same way with telekinesis. There's kind of 3 aspects of it. Yes, you can move it with energy alone, but not purposefully and consistently and intentionally always. So, just basically getting the gist of what we're talking about here. And then I break down what is empathy, and I give you some examples and refer you to tutorial 1. But basically, when you're empathizing with an inanimate object, it takes a lot of imagination and concentration and extreme memorization and familiarization and a bonding process, which I kind of go into all this right here on the first page. But empathy acts as the connection for me. Like I said, you can move stuff with just energy, like throwing a chi ball or something without the use of empathy. But to do things on purpose, it requires a connection to some degree. So empathy is a big part of it. This is a really good little, if I do say so myself, I call it a documentary, but it's basically just a video with some really good clips that I found and stuff. But if you haven't seen this documentary from 2017, Past, Present, and Future of Telekinesis, check it out, man. It's right there on step 1 of telekinesisschool.com.
I remember that. I remember that video.
Yeah, it's a good video, and I love Dean Radin, man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so step 2, the mindset, which I basically kind of already discussed that, how you want to kind of slow your brain down. But one way to increase the electricity, our brains run on electricity. Oh, wait, real quick, back to the fluoride thing. If you're not aware, calcium fluoride in small doses is beneficial to your hair, teeth, and bones. Sodium fluoride, which is what they're using in your toothpaste, is good for nothing. It's poison. It's a neurotoxin. Quit consuming fluoridated water and using fluoridated toothpaste.
Because they say that it's supposed to kill like the germs that cause bacteria and cavities, huh? But it doesn't really do that. It doesn't do a good job. You don't think so?
No, it's a neurotoxin. It has zero benefit to the human body.
Yeah.
If you go to your local water plant, if your water plant uses fluoride, and look at the container the fluoride's in. And when you see the skull and crossbones, and it says poison, highly corrosive. Now look at the area where the barrel of fluoride sits. Yeah. And look what it's done to the concrete. It's not good for you. It's not good for anybody. We got tricked. Edward Bernays was part of that scheme. They used to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a byproduct of the aluminum and herbicide industries and glass, maybe. Anyway, they used to have to pay to get rid of this stuff. And he convinced people that it's good for your teeth. And now they sell it to people to put in your drinking water. It's a neurotoxin. It's a waste. So get off the fluoride. Give your brain a chance and your pineal gland a chance to function properly without being hindered by these neurotoxins. Consume real salt. The pink stuff, man. That's what I recommend. Himalayan salt. It's got an energy of its own. Plus, you'll be getting 70 plus trace minerals that you don't get from your typical table salt that has like one mineral or something. Use that to kill bugs. Use the pink stuff to eat or to bake. Now, this is a Carillion photography of someone before taking Ormus. You can see how much of their subtle energy. And then this is a picture after taking Ormus. I'm guessing it probably a couple hours after taking Ormus. So it's not a hoax. Ormus is the real deal. And if you look like this, you're going to have way better luck doing telekinesis rather than this guy who looks like this, who's been talking on his cell phone all day. Okay.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people like that, huh? The red energy.
Yep. And the red and the yellow, I think all that has something to do with mood, but more or less the luminescent, how much illumination there is what's really showing here. Now, this could be different moods. I don't know. Red's typically an aggressive, angry mood, and yellow is probably a happier mood. But it feels better. It's a mood elevator. I feel good when I'm on Ormus, which is pretty much every day.
That's good.
Life is good. Life is good. Let's see. I'm just kind of browsing this. Yeah, here's some references for people who haven't convinced their analytical mind that telekinesis is real. Dr. Dean Radin, Dr. Robert Jean, and the Global Consciousness Projects. These are all really good resources if you're still trying to convince your left brain. Oh, while I'm thinking of it, let me go over here. I saw this earlier when I was, and we'll get to that school in St. Petersburg I was talking about earlier too.
Yeah.
But when I was looking for the link, give me a second here to find it. Here we go. I found a few quotes that I knocked down. So they just mentioned Dr. Robert Jean. So this is a quote from him. Dr. Robert Jean and his staff at Princeton University scientifically documented the existence of psychokinesis for nearly 30 years. In the end, this is what Dr. Jean had to say regarding the closing of their studies. Quote, for 28 years, we've done what we wanted to do, and there's no reason to stay and generate more of the same data. If people don't believe us after all the results we've produced, then they never will. End quote. So there you go. Princeton. That's not some podunk university. That's an upper class university, scientifically documented psychokinesis for 28 years. Okay. So for all these people to say, "Oh, if it's real, why don't they prove it?" Okay. If you want to know if it's real, why don't you research it, idiot?
Yeah, I know.
Or learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So there you go. What's the name of that guy who always makes fun of us, Ricky?
It's that magic isn't real guy. I can't remember his real name, but
Yeah, he's making an entire channel out of trying to convince people psychokinesis is not real. But I don't think he can trump 30 years of experience from a Princeton University.
but I think he's trying to, like, he thinks he's on to something that's gonna disprove us, or those people, they always like that, huh? Oh, we're gonna get him, but like they have research here.
Yep. And this is a quote about St. Petersburg, which I'm going to skip because I think all this information is going to be in the video that I'm going to share here in just a moment. John Chang, you're familiar with him, right? He does the healing, the telekinesis, and starts the fire, etc.
Oh yeah.
Here's a quote from him, and this is a mouthful. One of the longest sentences you'll hear, probably. Sorry, I'm super thirsty tonight. Okay, he says, quote, "There's no shortage of shallow-breathing, closed-minded, spiritually blind, meat-eating, video game-playing TV watchers with calcified pineal glands spewing nonsense from their foggy, fluoridated brains like a cancer eating away at the evolution of human consciousness because they themselves lack the desire, patience, and fortitude to master their own mind, body, and emotions because they are weak, lazy, selfish, fearful, herd-following sheeple who are but shadows of a human with incomplete, underdeveloped souls starving for justification and adoration for their ignorance-induced psychic shortcomings, like a child throwing a temper tantrum because they didn't get the toy they wanted."
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That is a mouthful. And I read that quote earlier. I'm like, holy crap, I forgot all about that. But that is so true. I should just start copy and pasting that every time I get haters in my comments.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, the proper mindset for telekinesis is sort of a trance-like state. But most people don't really know what a trance is or how to subdue their thoughts long enough to enter one. This is why people who meditate, musicians, artists, athletes with your boxing, often succeed at TK much sooner than others. These people are accustomed to entering a trance-like state. In meditation, we may call this Zen or bliss. A musician or athlete may call it getting in the groove or in the flow. It is a state of mind that seems to function effortlessly and intuitively rather than intentionally and logically. That's it. In a nutshell, that's a good description of the mindset. So the mindset is sort of a trance more so than a concentration. So every time I read somebody say, "Oh, telekinesis is all about concentration," it's actually not. It's actually about the opposite of concentration. It's about
finding a flow.
Yeah, a flow, a trance, and an open, receptive mindset rather than focused and concentrated. So we all enter a trance called the hypnagogic state right before we fall asleep. Another unintentional trance we experience is called zoning out, daydreaming, or spacing out. Now, I'm not talking about when you're work and you're thinking about, oh, I can't wait to get home and get a shower and eat. That's different kind of daydreaming. It's daydreaming when you're just kind of in a blah state, like a few moments go by that you weren't really aware of. That's sort of daydreaming.
Yeah.
A huge part of entering a trance is shutting down our logical mind and relaxing our focal gaze into sort of a blank stare, where everything in our vision becomes flat, evenly focused, and two-dimensional. And I provide this image, a lot of you know this, the Vesica Pisces symbol. But you can look at this in different ways. You can either see overlapping circles or, overlapping individual circles, or you can see this thing as a whole where you kind of see a crescent moon, the two crescent moons as making one shape. And if you can get your gaze blank and evenly focused, it'll all become one image. And when it does, just practice staying in that state for as long as possible. And that's kind of the visualization you use during telekinesis. And that's basically what the rest of this is explaining. Moving on to step 3. Go ahead. Yep.
I think that simple thing right there, that little image, is a perfect, like, it should be something that we should kind of like we could use to kind of get ourselves into our own little rhythm, like all the time.
Yeah, when I first started, I used it a lot. That's why I put it on this website.
Yeah,
it's been very, very helpful. And getting that, a lot of people, I see that a lot, especially when I was working with people one-on-one. We'd get out a side wheel and they would be just so intently focused on this side wheel. Like, hold up, dude. Stop looking let's look above the side wheel. And a lot of times that's all it took, was just for them to get that focus spread out or off of it for just a little bit, and then it would start moving. So anybody out there, aspiring practitioners, practice that. And dim lighting, anything you can do to bring the focus level down. You don't want to concentrate. Okay. That's not, I know that's what almost everybody says, but that's not how it works.
It's just getting in your own flow. That's what it is, your own flow.
Yep. Last but not least, the energy. We have to have sufficient subtle energy in order to perform telekinesis. And after a few months of qigong exercises and the breathing exercises that I teach on treborseven.com and taking Ormus and all this, my energy, and whoever else does this, energy will be sufficient. And that's how I stumbled onto this whole ordeal. I felt the energy beyond my body, and then I looked in and I found a side wheel, and that's how it all got started for me. So energy work, be it yoga, qigong, or others, it should be a part of every practitioner's routine. These are some other ways to increase your subtle energy. Sun gazing. These are links to teach you how to do it here, guys. Do it properly. And grounding, which I'm totally into the grounding. And if you combine these two, you'll get some magic happening. You'll get some healing, and your eyesight will improve, and pain will go away, and your immune system will be improved. Combining those two is a lethal combination. Add Ormus to that and your chakra exercises, and you'll be all fired up. You'll be able to, if nothing else, if you can't do telekinesis, you'll be almost invincible in terms of illness. Of course, everybody's body detoxes at some point, but you're not going to catch colds from people if your subtle energy is that high. I talk a little bit about the chakra system, and I have this cute little video, which is kind of funny because pretty much everything in it, except maybe, I think it says something about onion juice or something. Pretty much everything in it is the truth. So they hide the truth in a lot of weird places. But there's a video. You can find that on YouTube. Aang opens his chakra for avatar state control, something. I don't know what the rest of the title is, or you can just watch it right there on the energy page, lesson 3 of telekinesisschool.com. Let's see. I talk about the chakras, about the empathy mindset energy thing, and that kind of wraps it up. And then again, I refer you to treborseven.com. If you try all this stuff and nothing's working, check out those tutorials, because there's a lot of good tips and things in there that can help people get started. So there you go. That's telekinesisschool.com. I don't know how many videos we just looked at or how many sites we looked at, 6 or 7. But I think there's good info. Take the good and leave the bad. Visit them all. Try and try again until you get things figured out. It can be done, and there are schools here to help you. Okay, last but not least, we're going to take a look at this St. Petersburg video.
Yeah, it's a good video.
Make sure it's showing, yeah, and you let me know if there are no words or if you can't hear it or anything. Otherwise, I'm going to let this run in its entirety, and it's about 7 minutes long. And then we'll check the chat and tie a bow in this and call it a show.
Telekinesis is the human ability to move objects of various mass without contact. There aren't many people in the world who can demonstrate something of the sort, and even fewer can teach others to do this. In 2008, in Russia, a world record was registered in the nomination of the largest community of people who in the shortest possible time were taught telekinesis. At that point, there were 250 such people, and today there are thousands. The effect was confirmed many times on television, as well as by known foreign scientists and researchers.
Телепатия, предчувствие будущего, целительство. Сегодня людей, обладающих необъяснимыми способностями, становится все больше. В Санкт-Петербургском институте биосенсорной психологии учат делать чудеса всех желающих.
Настоящих целителей, по крайней мере, имеющих диплом экстрасенсов, тоже найти несложно. Например, в ассоциациях и институтах. Будущих экстрасенсов и в городе, и на выездных занятиях в первую очередь учат телекинезу. Например, усилием воли вращать бумажную спираль, подвешенную на нитке в стеклянной колбе, или отклонять магнитную стрелку.
Друзья, наконец-то в нашей студии появился гость, который внесет немножко научного направления в наши праздношатающиеся мысли. Это Владимир Тонков, президент Института биосенсорной психологии.
Потому что такого увидеть практически больше нигде и никогда невозможно. Эти люди, обладающие сверхъестественными способностями, практически одной только силой мысли приводят движение предмета на расстоянии. Внимательно следите за руками. Они еще и приводят в движение стрелки компаса. Чуть позже эти уникальные люди появятся у нас в студии, в прямом эфире на ваших глазах продемонстрируют свои возможности.
We did not track any visible reasons for the movement of balls. The founder of the St. Petersburg Institute of Biosensor Psychology, Viktor Tonkov, explained that this was teleportation. But we were unable to move a cup. It was crawling in the morning, but stood still later.
In terms of skills-wise, there were so many things, fun stuff that I learned. There's telekinesis, there's being able to control it, being able to move multiple objects, being able to move bigger and bigger objects, being able to move different kinds of objects, being able to move different objects in different ways, to be able to turn them, to be able to pull them, to be able to push them, to be able to rotate them, to be able to move them across surfaces. These are just some telekinetic skills.
Please describe your own experience with telekinesis.
I sat down in front of this reversed glass with a hanging spiral within it. And I sat down in this consciousness, or tried to sit in this consciousness, and it just moved.
These people attend the Institute of Biosensory Psychology. The founder of the institute and the chief specialist, Vladimir Tonkov, has been teaching unusual abilities to ordinary people for about 25 years. Serious research in telekinesis started back in the times of the USSR. In the 1980s, a group of scientists in physics, headed by Professor Gennady Dulnev, a PhD in technical science, conducted many experiments with the famous Ninel Kulagina on registering the phenomenon of telekinesis. In the experiments, Kulagina was to produce an influence on an analytical scale. Under her influence, the scale lowered and registered a maximum of 100 milligrams. When the scale was covered by a glass cap, the effect remained. In another experiment, the operator was to move an object placed inside a Faraday cup, screening electromagnetic fields. The object was moved successfully. This led to the conclusion that telekinesis was not of an electromagnetic nature. Later, under the guidance of Professor Dulnev, more experiments were conducted, proving that the nature of telekinesis is not related to gravity, electrostatics, acoustics, or heat, and so on. At the beginning of the 2000s, the Institute of Biosensory Psychology and its chief specialist and founder of biosensory psychodisciplines, Vladimir Tonkov, undertook the task of creating the conditions for obtaining unambiguous proof that a material component of our psyche does exist, that it is capable of influencing physical objects and subjects, and that this ability is not unique, but rather that it is inherent in everyone. At the first stage of research, which took years, the task was for everyone in the group without exception to reveal in themselves the ability to move objects without contact. The group was successful in achieving this task, thereby proving that there is nothing exclusive about learning contactless movement of objects, and that there is no predisposition to it, that this is an ability of every person without exception. In the years that followed, this conclusion has been confirmed by other study participants at the Institute.
That is cool there. That girl in the middle.
The result of this work was noted in the Russian Book of Records and Achievements and was also sent to the Guinness Book of Records in the fall of 2008 as a world record in the nomination of the largest community of people who in the shortest possible time were taught telekinesis, the contactless movement of objects.
So that's a good video there. That's a real good video.
Yeah, there you have that. So if anybody's still on the fence of whether or not it's real or if, why don't they have schools? Well, they do, just not in the U.S. I couldn't find any physical schools in the U.S. anyway. That was a big dream of ours back in the day, to open our own school and stuff. But I found I can reach a lot more people through YouTube than I can. The town I live in is population 99. So let's go back and check some of these chats here. Andrew says, how do you develop empathy with an object? Okay, I explained that on telekinesisschool.com. We use extreme familiarization. There's a process called bonding. And then, of course, it takes a little bit of imagination and some emotions and things. But I kind of go through that in somewhat detail on telekinesisschool.com and in more detail at treborseven.com. Jimbo says, exactly. I don't know what you're referring to. Sometimes I flow like a stream. Yep, Jimbo. I noticed that too. And a lot of nights when I go to practice, if things aren't flowing, I just shut her down. You know, you can't really force it.
Yeah.
R.I.P. John Chang. Yeah, he was the man for sure. Can empaths do telekinesis? I am somewhat of an empath. Yeah, I would think empaths would excel at telekinesis if you can empathize with an inanimate object. And Andrew says, isn't a war going on with Russia? How come this is the first time I hear this? I don't know. I don't know, because you didn't look for it, I guess. And I don't know if we're at war with Russia or not. And wars are all, that's all about bankers stuff. So it really has nothing to do with us spreading democracy, in my humble opinion. But anyway, unless there's any more comments, I think that was, we're all up to date on the comments. You have any closing comments or anything you want to refer to before we wrap it up, Ricky?
No, but I think that video that we just saw pretty much, like if anyone has any doubt, I mean, they've been doing this video is an old video, and these people, you know, like there's a school, they taught these people, it's proof, and you can tell by on their faces that like when they smile, you know, they get a giggle. That's the same thing that happened to me when I did it. You know, it's like you learn that you can do it, and it's like it's all real. It's there, man. The schools are there. It's all proof.
Yeah, it's the real deal, and I'll put a link to that.
That's probably one of the best videos to watch.
I'm popping the link in the video chat right now on YouTube. If anyone would like to save that video or go watch it again or share it with their friends who don't believe.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I think that's going to be a show. I appreciate you guys attending. and all the people who watch this after the fact. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And as far as I know, we'll be back next month. There's going to be a slight change in the stream quality. I'm going to cancel my subscription to StreamYard, so it's just going to be a plain Jane stream and probably have the StreamYard logo instead of my logo. But we're still going to stay in contact, and won't cost anybody anything other than our time. And on that note, I want to thank you for using the only two real forms of currency, which is time and attention. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate it. Until we meet again, this is treborseven. Peace out, man.